All right, guys, I try to stay out of it. Now, I've openly told you that I'm a fan. There's people that you can go to that are going to call them straight down the middle. I've openly let you know, don't ever expect me to be straight down the middle as it pertains to Sean O'Malley. You know, Colby Covington, it's never going straight. I mean, you know these things, right? I try and disclose that to you. I've shared with you that Arman Sarukian, who's training under my teammate Daryl Christian, will go through his career with the Uncle Chael level of protection as it comes to the media. I try and tell you guys these things. But let me tell you two that I haven't talked about, and they're just two of my favorites. And not just their skills, like these guys as guys. Aljo Sterling and Brian Ortega. I could not tell you enough positive things about them as people. Like, well, just sure, like, if you go see him, don't be intimidated. Walk up and say hello. You'll be glad that you did. Like, these two were just regular guys. Aljo Sterling, when he was king of the world, never knew he was king of the world. He never acted like that. Brian Ortega, when he was winning main events and dating the beautiful girls and getting opportunities in movies and making all this bonus money, he was always just one of the guys. I mean, I just got to share this with you. Like, two very special guys, and then they're going to get matched up. Oh, by the way, it's on free TV. That is an incredible fight, period. But in the history of free TV fights, that might be the biggest ever, truly. It truly might be. I think that it would for sure come in everybody's top 10 list, and I think now I've got your attention. Maybe you're stating one or two there in front, but you're understanding my point. Like, that is a really big fight. And if I was to go a step further, if I was to tell you that this is the biggest fight in the history of free TV with co-main event status, I feel now you just laid down for me. And you go, yeah, Chael, you're right. Ortega's a massive star. Aljo was champion of the world this time 2 years ago. This fight was a dream fight because they were different weight classes. Like, there is so much on this fight, not to mention the open insult. And there's insults in this business all the time. There's nothing you can do about it. Use them as part of the promotion, right? Like you got to play the hand that you're given. But Brian Ortega, who's a stone cold badass, and Aljo Sterling, who's a stone cold badass, are both coming off of losses and are in no threat of getting a world title fight. That's not fair. That's not great. But you take these guys that are in the same colossally different situation, colossally difficult situation, and you put them together. Boxing does a great job. MMA has copied it to a degree. But if you have a great fighter like Floyd, and you build this big fight and they go out there and they fight and Floyd beats him. You build another great big fight for Floyd and Floyd goes out there and beats him. Those two guys that both had the chance for Floyd, they will then find themselves in a main event together. Like, going out and getting beat up by Floyd isn't just good for that night's paycheck. You're going to get one more, which is you're going to have same guy in a same situation, which isn't ideal. What do I do with him? He's coming off a loss. He's not going to be a world champion because we're not even going to give him the opportunity because we've already given him that opportunity. What do? You put them together. Now, one guy's life and journey back just got a whole hell of a lot worse, and that is promotion. It's very interesting. It's a very compelling storyline. I don't think Aljo lost his last fight, by the way. I know he lost the decision, but I watched that with a group of people, and right before Bruce Buffer gets in the shark suit and makes the announcement, we all thought, oh yeah, Aljo won that fight. And not only did he not win it, the crowd didn't react in a way that they were surprised, and the headlines on the Underground Forum and Sherdog and the Elbows and the Manias of the world, none of them even brought it up. They acted like it was matter of fact, and that was finished business. And I just thought that was more of a commentary on a lack of respect being shown to Aldo. I thought Aljo proved in that fight. Not only did I think he won, but I thought he proved in that fight, only a second time at 145, that he was a 45-pounder. That he should be taken seriously. I think the fact that they're putting him in a co-main event on the worldwide leader helps to prove my point that Aljo can go with any of these guys. And so now you get him in there with Ortega. Ortega hasn't been perfect, but he's been damn close. And he's done some stuff in this sport that is slow, flat, impressive, but he's got a hiccup, right? Even Superman had kryptonite. Like, everybody's got a glitch. It's your opponent's job to identify it. Very seldomly will you identify it for them, and in this case, it has been identified for us. The scale. The scale has always been and continues to be a kryptonite for Ortega. So, they're in China. I've reached out to Tiki multiple times. It's like 3 a.m. Tiki's the manager of Ortega. Tiki will be there. Tiki will know exactly what's going on. Here's what I don't know. Okay? I watch footage. These guys come face to face for a weigh-in. Ortega is not doing so well. He's hurt. It's a weigh-in. He's hurting. But he's also overweight. And then they make an announcement that this fight will be contested at a catch weight of 153 pounds. Now, I just made that number up, but I think that's the right number. But for the sake of my story, we're going to call it 153 pounds. What I want to know there is, was that decision made at the scale? Now, at the scale can be literally this scene that we're watching where the scale's at, but it can also just be behind scenes at the reported time to the scale, right? The athletes get their schedule, report to the scale, and you got like an hour that you got to kill before you actually get on there. When was the deal of 153 pounds made? If Aljo knew 2 days ago, then Aljo's life is very different. Aljo's not going to have to pull that same 8 pounds. He's not going to love this news, and it wasn't what is agreed on, but he understands that the show must go on. He also understands that they're in China, and he understands they're a co-main event. Aljo's going to say yes, but if Aljo pulled the weight and then found out in the moment this guy's 8 over and we're going to change it to a catch weight, I just find that curious. I would like to know, and I don't. Aljo, to my understanding, weighed in at 146 pounds. And then Ortega came in at 153 pounds. That's to my understanding. The video that I saw didn't actually show that. It just showed them coming face to face with the scale there as your establishing shot. If Aljo came in above 146, it means he got tipped off. Well, if he did get tipped off, how long ago did he get informed and why were we not? So be all very fair questions by me. Ortega, when he was going to miss weight for Lopez, and it was Tiki himself called Team Lopez at 3 a.m, let him know, hey, here's what we're dealing with. We do not want to screw you up one single bit. At the same time, we're going through some torture here, so I need your answer. Can we change this weight? And I'm just sharing that I assume something like that happened with Aljo. And your life is very different. It's very uncomfortable when you're trying to get your body to weigh something that your body doesn't want to weigh. It does not affect you for those few minutes that you're seen on camera. It does not affect you from your call time to the scale. It is a lifestyle. It is 24/7, 365, as the kids say, but it really is. Calories in versus calorie out. It is a massively difficult and challenging way to go through life. And how many times do you need your body to tell you, stop doing this to me. I'm not going to play along. I'm not going to cooperate. How many times do you need to do that before you go, okay, look, I'm a 155 pounder? Because Aljo did it. Aljo was a 135 pounder and his body wasn't cooperating. So we moved up to 45. Ilya Topuria just did it. He didn't want to relinquish a belt at 145, but his body was saying, hey, I don't want to go that low anymore. Islam Makhachev had this, at least to a degree. He says that he's going back, but I can assure you if he has success at 170, he will never return to 155. And it's a peculiar situation. And I must tell you, I don't envy it, and I don't really want to sit back and judge anybody, including the UFC, but I'm forced to. I don't understand the idea of a catch weight of 153 pounds, because 153 pounds is not a weight. And if I was in Aljo's shoes and I got to walk out and do that job anyway, I'm going to make damn sure the paperwork says 155, that if I get the win, I'm doing it in an actual division that exists. The idea that you would fight at a weight class that doesn't exist, why not just call him world champion when you're done? This is for the world championship of 153 and 8/10 pounds. By proxy of elimination, because there's only 2 guys in the company under contract for such a number. It doesn't, I just think that part's weird. I think that's weird. And we've always been told for the winner, he will be treated as though he won within the weight class. But the loser, much like you just saw with Brian Battle, for example, very bad to miss weight, to then cost you the fight in the number 1 rule of show business, which is the show must go on. It's double strikes. And sometimes you don't get all 3 and you're out. Tough stuff. There is no weight class of 153 pounds. There is no catchweight category. So, if we're in the process of making up a weight class, why don't we just make up a championship for the weight class? Or anything above 145 and south of 155 gets called lightweight, which is exactly what the sport and the overseeing commission have already said.